Darkness trembles before light. History bends before destiny. And tonight, on Krishna Frequency, we open a celestial gate to a battlefield older than your oldest memories. Before your ancestors whispered stories around fires, before historians carved lines into stone, there was Kurukshetra, the Great War. The war of 1,500–3,000 BCE depending on tradition, but spoken in our scriptures as an event of epic cosmic consequence. The land had cracked under curses and pride, and kings marched like thunderclouds. But on the morning the world held its breath, a shimmering blue radiance walked the earth. With a lotus-soft smile and a cyclone of cosmic intelligence in his eyes, Shri Krishna had arrived. Now listen closely, because this is where the story transforms into strategy. If at any point this journey makes your heart race, your spine tingle, or your mind awaken, pause nothing, simply tap like and subscribe to Krishna Frequency so you never drift away from this cosmic current. This is not just a story. This is not just mythology. This is the blueprint of tactics, psychology, diplomacy, destiny, and the mind of the greatest strategist who ever lived. As the dust swirled, kingdoms of the East and West assembled, forming 18 colossal divisions known as Akshahinis, armies so massive they could devour oceans. Warriors from Persia, the Himalayan regions, the Yavanas, the Sindhis, the Panchalas, the Magadhas, all converged upon a single plain. The world had never seen such a war, and yet the war's outcome had been decided before the first sword was even sharpened, because Krishna had played his first move long before anyone understood the game. When both sides approached him for support, Krishna offered a choice: his divine army or himself unarmed. Duryodhana, blinded by pride, lunged for the army. Arjuna, guided by devotion, chose Krishna alone. And with that single decision, the threads of fate wrapped around the Pandavas like a protective serpent. Krishna gave the Pandavas the rarest gift, not soldiers, not magic, not weapons, but strategy itself. On Krishna Frequency, we call this the first divine checkmate. As the sun rose on the first day of battle, the conches sounded, but the most terrifying sound of all came from Krishna's own Panchajanya. The air cracked, horses reared in terror. Veteran soldiers trembled, feeling their skin ignite with goosebumps. This was psychological warfare, thousands of years before the term existed. And you, yes, you listening right now, you would have felt it too, cascading through your chest like a tidal wave. If that sent chills down your spine, drop a Jai Shri Krishna in the comments so we know your spirit is awake. Krishna scanned the battlefield like a cosmic mathematician. Every warrior was a variable. Every ego was an equation. Every decision another domino in a chain of fate. Bhishma was invincible except through conscience. Drona was unstoppable except through grief. Karna was fierce except through karma. Shalya was brilliant except through manipulation. And Duryodhana, he was undefeatable except through pride. Krishna knew every strength, every weakness, every crack in the armor of every soul on that plane. And like a grandmaster placing pieces on a chessboard, he arranged the Pandava formation with surgical precision. Not a single move was random. Not a single order accidental. Everything was the unfolding of divine strategy. As the days unfolded, the war became a living demon. Bhishma rained destruction like a god of storms. Drona unleashed weapons that split the sky in half. Karna burned the battlefield with raw fury and celestial gifts. Soldiers were sliced by arrows faster than the blink of an eye. Chariots crashed. Elephants screamed. Kings fell like meteors. But Krishna glided through the chaos with serenity untouched. When Arjuna hesitated, Krishna's voice cut through the noise like lightning, reminding him of purpose, duty, destiny. And yes, the wisdom spoken there became the Bhagavad Gita, the greatest conversation ever spoken. But those verses were only the philosophy. The strategy came after. Each day, Krishna adapted the formation, from the Vajra to the Chakra to the Makara to the Krancha and back again. The Kauravas expected repetition. Krishna gave unpredictability. It was warfare through fluidity, dharma through adaptation, victory through transformation. Meanwhile, Duryodhana's army slowly crumbled not because of arrows but because of ego. Krishna weaponized Duryodhana's arrogance like a mirror. He made him jealous, made him insecure, made him overestimate Karna, made him underestimate Shikundi, made him angry at Bhishma. And in anger, Duryodhana started giving reckless orders. A kingdom collapses not when the enemy is strong, but when its own king is blind. If you're still watching right now, your mind is sharp, just like Arjuna's on the 13th day. And for viewers like you, Krishna frequency has more coming. Stay locked in. The war escalated into divine proportions when celestial weapons entered the field. Firestorms that could incinerate whole armies, astras that could erase life with a whisper. And then came the terrifying Narayana Astra, released by Ashwathama, a weapon that no mortal could survive. Soldiers collapsed, the wind stopped, even the sun dimmed. But Krishna, transcending fear, commanded the Pandavas to drop their weapons and submit in humility. Imagine the trust required to obey such an order in the face of certain death. But they obeyed, and the Astra dissolved. Krishna had outmaneuvered a divine weapon with divine psychology. When Abhimanyu fell, the battlefield became a cauldron of rage. Arjuna's fury scorched the sky. On Krishna's guidance, the Pandavas broke the army day after day, breaking Bhishma, breaking Drona, breaking the pride of kings, until the war reduced itself to a single duel, Bhima versus Duryodhana, mace against mace. Every strike was thunder, every breath a storm. And in that final moment, Krishna nodded, a gesture seen by no one but meant for the world. Bhima struck the thigh. Duryodhana fell. The dynasty of darkness collapsed. And here comes the secret, the truth, the final revelation of Krishna frequency. Krishna did not win the war by killing anyone. He won by guiding minds. He won by turning ego against ego, strategy against strength, wisdom against arrogance. He fought not with arrows, but with dharma. He fought not with steel, but with consciousness. As Krishna walks away from the smoldering battlefield in a quiet glow of dusk, the earth sighs in relief. The war is over, but his final message is not to the warriors, it is to you. He turns, his eyes soft, ancient and infinite, and whispers across the centuries. Whenever your heart is in conflict, whenever your life feels like a battlefield, remember, I stand with those who stand for truth. The world fades, silence returns, and your soul feels heavier, wiser, more awake. This was a Krishna frequency experience. If your mind traveled, if your heart expanded, if your spirit feels alive, then like this video, subscribe right now, and share this message with those who need Krishna's wisdom today. More cosmic revelations are coming. Stay tuned, stay awakened, stay connected. This is Krishna frequency, where the universe speaks through Krishna.